Hi, this is Andy from GPS Training. We've just received into stock today our new range of Garmin Montana 700 GPS devices that have just been launched. So there's three models in the new range. We have the 710, the 710i and the 760i that I've got in front of me now that we're going to take a look at inside the box to see what we get with the unit. But we thought it'd be nice to tell you what the differences are, what are the changes on this new range from the original models, the Montana 700, 700i and 750i. So any of the models that have the I at the end, so I've got the 760i here and we also have the 710i, they both have the InReach technology with the SOS button on the side of the unit and two-way satellite communication. It is a subscription-based service. The standard 710 doesn't have the SOS button, the InReach two-way satellite communication built in. The other differences between the models, if you get an I version, so that's the 710i or the 760i that I've got here, you get the additional City Navigator Europe road navigation maps installed. All three models come with the TopoActive European maps as previous models, but remember you get the City Navigator maps like we did with the other InReach devices in the older Montana range. You get the City Navigator road navigation maps. And then when we go to the 760i, it's the one with the camera. So we had the 750i previously. So 760i has got the addition of the camera that we don't have on the 710 range, and also with it having the I has the SOS and the two-way satellite communication. So what I'm going to do first is open up the box, show you what's inside, and then I'll go through the changes that we've got in the new range from the previous models. So this is the 760i, so I'm just going to turn the box over and open the box up, and then we'll take it out and go through what we get inside. So obviously the unit itself, so I'm just going to put that to one side for the moment. And inside the box, I'm assuming we're going to have some documentation and a charging cable. So one of the new changes straight away, that's the first thing I'm going to show you. We now have USB-C charging. So the previous model was USB micro, and actually the cable now is a USB-C to USB-C. So that will give you faster, higher speed charging. What we actually do from GPS Training, we will put in a little adapter in the box for you. So if you're still using USB-A output from either a computer or your charging plug, you've got a little adapter you can plug on one end of the cable, and then the other end will go into the new USB-C port on your device. So we will stick that in the box for you. So that's the first change, USB-C. And inside the box, we've got a quick start manual and the safety instructions. So I'm just going to move the box to one side now and just bring the unit into view. So the unit itself, you can probably see if you're familiar with the original range, it's actually the same 5-inch screen. It's actually the same footplate as the original model. So it's nice that actually all of the original accessories, bar one that I'm going to mention, will actually work with this unit. So if you were doing an upgrade in the future and you've got existing accessories, they will still work with this unit. The only accessory from the list, from what we've checked, if you had the suction mount for a vehicle windscreen that had a USB micro connection, and with the new device having the USB-C, there'll be a new vehicle suction mount with a USB-C cable. Other than that, all your existing accessories like the bicycle mounts, the motorbike mounts that you charge the unit from, the carry case that we sell, etc., they will still work with the unit. So it's only the suction mount that has changed. Now, one of the other changes, I'm just going to turn the unit on its back. It's still got the removable lithium-ion battery, but this battery is labelled as a higher capacity. So when we actually look at the spec, this battery will give us 24 hours GPS recordings. That's for GPS only, not the dual frequency, just the GPS only, 24 hours. But if you compare that to the older model, which was 18 hours. So we've got an increase in 6 hours battery. And it's nice to see that actually Garmin have quoted that this new battery, which we will be getting in as a spare at some time, will work in the original units, as in the older 700, 700i and 750i. So that's the second change, is the higher capacity battery giving us 6 hours extra battery with GPS recording. We've still got the memory card slots. If you purchase it from ourselves with the Topo Pro Ordnance Survey 1 to 50 or the 1 to 25 map card, we'll put that in this card slot for you. If you weren't using an OS map with the device, we know customers used to put a micro card in the back of the unit up to a 32 gig in size to increase the memory when you're downloading the preloaded maps. What's nice to see, the next change we're going to give you, the third change, is we've got an increased internal storage memory now. It's increased from 16 gigabytes to now 32 gigabytes. That's going to be really useful when you're installing preloaded maps, or should I say updating the preloaded maps. So just remember again, with the 710 unit, you get the all of Europe, the Topo Active recreational map included. So if there's any updates for that, you've got a lot more memory now to install the updates for that. If you've bought the i version, so the 710i, or you purchased the 760i that we've got here, you've got a lot more memory for updating those City Navigator road navigation maps. Now, the two last changes that we're going to mention, one of them is Garmin have an Outdoors Plus map subscription. It is a subscription you pay every year to Garmin, where you've got various maps for different countries in a more detailed level than the Topo Active maps that you can download and install, but it is subscription based. We don't have Ordnance Survey maps for Great Britain included in that subscription as we stand at the moment, but there's other countries there. And the final change, which Garmin haven't really mentioned in any of the spec, it was very similar to when the new GPS Map 67 came out. It had the same feature, but it wasn't really mentioned. With the older units, you had to update the European maps or the City Navigator maps using a computer connection and Garmin Express. Now, don't get us wrong, that is always the quickest way to do it. It is a lot quicker doing it via a computer, but we can actually do it via Wi-Fi only now. So if you didn't have a computer, those maps can be updated via Wi-Fi directly on the unit. And what they've also done, they've added a lot of new regions of Topo Active mapping that you can download for free. That's something they also added to the GPS Map 67 range when it came out. When I was having a quick look through the regions, it's the same as the GPS Map 67. I'm not going to run through everyone, but just to give you an idea, there was Japan, Africa, I noticed there was Antarctica, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Alaska, China, Greenland, Hong Kong, Korea. There was some of the Middle East, South America, USA, Taiwan, just to mention a few. So that was additional Topo Active mapping that Garmin produce, their own open source maps. You can now get those either via Garmin Express or Wi-Fi onto the unit. Now, what you may find you have to do for that is, if you put lots of those maps on, you may find you do have to put some micro SD cards in the back of the unit. But remember, we have got that increased memory now of 32 gig instead of 16 gig. So really, that's the changes. Unit itself, like I say, is the same. It's the same 5-inch screen. The one with the SOS buttons in the same place with a little protection flap. So remember, if you've got the InReach version, that is subscription based. We have got in our frequently asked questions on our website, we talk about the subscriptions available. That lets you send messages via satellite to friends and family. Friends and family can track you, and you've got the SOS button for emergency response if something was to go wrong on an adventure. In our frequent asked questions, we cover the countries that you're allowed to take the devices in and what the subscription fees are. So that's what you get on the 760i and the 710i. So remember, the 710 without the I at the end doesn't come with the SOS button and the two-way satellite communication. Just turn it round on the side again. So remember, USB-C connection, that's different now. The battery's still the removable battery, but it's the higher capacity. So we've now got the 6 hours additional battery. So from 18 hours, we've now got 24 hours with the GPS only. All of the units have the torch. This is the 760i, so this is the only one with the 8 megapixel camera. So it's the same camera that we had on the previous model. And again, where the accessories go, it's the same accessories that fit this unit, other than I mentioned the suction mount's the only one where it'll be a different suction mount that we stock. So I'm just going to turn it back around. I'll just turn the unit on, and I'm pretty sure all the menus are going to look the same. Now, the only thing we haven't tested yet, I'm pretty sure this device, with it being the USB-C, will use the new MTP connection protocol that Garmin started to use. So that does mean if you're using a Windows computer, you'll be able to see the device as an external drive. But if you're using a Mac, you would generally use Garmin Basecamp to send stuff to the device, as the Mac doesn't normally see a device with MTP connection. That's the same as the GPS Map 67 units that we stock. So I'm just going to go to the home menu. And actually, this home menu just looks the same layout that I've seen on the original units. I'm pretty sure all the menus and interfaces, if you've been using the predecessor, are going to be exactly the same. There's just those new features that we went through. And actually, if I just go into the setup and map, it should show me on this one in Map Manager which maps are loaded. So I can see here it's got the City Navigator. It's a 2024 version. I'm pretty sure there's just been a new update, 2025, but you'll be able to update the maps for free when you get the unit. So I'm thinking they did just do a very, very recent update, and it shows me there we've got the Topo Active maps for Europe installed. It would show you any other maps here if they were installed. So really all the sort of specs and features and the way it worked are exactly the same if you've come from the original 700 series, the older 700 series, should I say, the 700, the 700i, the 750i. Just the last run through of the new things that have changed in the new unit. We've got the bigger memory, so it's 32 gig internal storage instead of 16. Slightly bigger battery. We've now got 6 hours additional battery, taking it to 24 hours when you're doing GPS recording. We've got the USB-C charging port on the side. So remember, it comes with a USB-C to C cable now, but at GPS training, we will give you a little adapter if you're still using a USB-A plug. And we've also got the Garmin Outdoor Maps subscription. You can now add those maps to the device. That is a subscription from Garmin, but it's nice to see we can now update the Topo Active Europe maps using Wi-Fi, not just a computer. And we've got all those extra regions that I've mentioned. So I hope you found this video useful. You can find more information on the product on our GPS store on gpstraining.co.uk, and on the GPS store you'll see handheld devices as a heading, or if you're looking for the one with the SOS button, the inReach capability, we've got a heading two-way satellite communicators, and then you'll see listed the 3 new units, the 710, 710i and 760i. You get all our training videos included, and telephone and email support for a year when you purchase from GPS Training. All of the existing videos that we had with the predecessor are going to be exactly the same for this unit, so you'll be able to use all those videos, but we will do a few additional videos to do with the new mapping and how you update those new maps and any other changes that we come across as we start using the unit. So we're looking forward to getting to grips with the new unit, and we hope you found this video useful, and thanks for watching.